Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Listen, Mr. Sitting here on your looking at guitars and pedals while mocking me during the intro, have you hit subscribed and notify bell?
I hit subscribe to me retaining my predictions championship.
Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do exactly?
That's what I'm going to do with it.
Exactly. You just bust your guitar over there.
Fine. It needs work anyways.
Jackass. Anyways, yeah, so we're available on here on YouTube.
Correct.
Thanks to everybody for joining us for today's Takeover stream.
Yes, thank you very much.
That was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
And then thanks also to you for bringing some Steve Weiser's Broken Skull IPA, which you tweeted out, and we got a, oh, hell yeah, from Stone Cold Steve Austin himself. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
And then, yeah, of course, we're available wherever podcasts can be found. If you enjoy watching our ugly faces on YouTube, but you prefer listening to our ugly voices instead, any podcast app, you can find Going In Raw.
We're there.
We are there.
We're there.
Leave us a rating, a review, or a comment.
Yes, please. It does a lot to help the show.
It's a real free and easy way to help us out.
It really does a lot to help us out. A lot.
Another takeover in the books, Larson.
Yeah. I kind of feel like this is one of those placeholders in the right term.
It was a very plot-heavy episode.
We're very used to takeovers, kind of fulfilling two things. One, culminating feuds, and also pushing feuds forward in kind of surprising and new directions that are unexpected.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this really tried to accomplish that, but in a couple instances where they're trying to push things in new directions, it left some more questions.
Yeah. And
not the type of questions like, oh, I really want to see how this turns out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, huh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. So the thing is, NXT has really built up the kind of cachet necessary for us to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Totally.
So I'm like, oh, John Gargano turned on Tommaso Ciampa at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm kind of curious to where it's going to go.
We didn't see it coming. And it was one of those things like,
true,
huh? Not exactly how I was expecting this match to end.
Yeah.
Same for the Tegan Nox Dakota Kai street fight, which was spectacular.
That one was a bit more of a.
And then Raquel Gonzalez comes out to help Dakota Kai,
previously known as Reina Gonzalez.
Yeah, Reina Gonzalez. Yeah. To secure the win.
Yeah.
And they didn't necessarily sell it like Dakota Kai was like, oh, my muscle's here to help me out. Thanks, muscle. She seemed as confused as the rest of us.
Like, why are you helping me here?
Yeah.
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 So, that was a bit of a head scratcher. If they had brought somebody into play, like, for example, Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Who was, I don't want to say heavily involved, but she was pretty involved in this feud as as Tegan Nox's friend.
She just lost a match to Dakota Kai like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she, for example, had turned heel and she was the reason, or maybe if she didn't, she was just trying to help Tegan Nox. You and I both think that the story was there for Tegan Nox to lose this based on the heat of the emotion.
Yeah, she got wrapped up in things emotionally, kind of stopped thinking in like a logical sense. Like, she hit a Shining Guest Wizard, could have won right there. She's like, no, I'm not done with you yet.
Yeah.
Sets the table in the ring. The time it took to set up the table and do whatever move she's trying to do could have been enough for Dakota Kai to recover from the Shining Guest Wizard. Cause her loss would have made perfect sense in terms of propelling the story forward.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily the end of that match needed a heater added to the whole program to take it to the next level.
By the way, it's my favorite wrestling
It's a good term.
It's my favorite
especially because during the course of that match, it felt like they were really following the template laid out by Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa during their feud, using knee braces not only as weapons but as like metaphors for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took like a really hard left turn. I went right, left turn.
Yeah. It's their left, so
I guess so. Introducing Raquel Gonzalez into the mix, someone that we haven't really seen much of.
Yeah,
someone we're not really familiar with.
Yeah.
And
somebody who has had, I'm not going to say a dramatic, but a decent sized.
Oh, like repackaging.
Yes. Her name, and then also she was like
She used to have
frontiers
chaps.
person.
She used to have chaps.
Yeah, she dressed up like a cowgirl, I guess. I don't know if that's a proper nomen, to be honest with you. Cowboy.
So I said this one.
Ranch
She wore
person.
chaps. She had chaps.
And a cowboy hat and a bell and the cowbell.
Yeah,
too.
it's true.
She had all that stuff.
But she didn't have it anymore.
She was like full on Stan Hansen.
But not anymore.
Not anymore. No. So yeah, it was like, wait, what? Where is it coming from? Now again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt but in terms of as a whole, was this takeover something that I could sit down and watch and be like, oh, I get the total package, not like Sluger, A to B to Z, and I'm good to go? Wasn't quite that.
No, I mean, you can't fault the performances in the ring. Every match delivered in terms of match quality.
Oh,
Just-
100%.
It was just a couple of weird finishes.
Yeah.
That left you scratching your head a little bit. The Gargano example, it's like, okay, I can maybe see following his loss to Finn, maybe he was like, okay, well, if I really want to be Mr. NXT, I got to do this, 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 and this. I don't want to do this against Ciampa's champion, so I'll deny him the championship so I can beat Adam Cole for that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They can. There's any number of ways they can go with that.
But like if Dakota Kai had looked up at Raquel Gonzalez like, hey, thanks, Muscle, for helping me out here.
Yeah.
At least those are dots I can connect.
And yeah, you're right. And it's like, oh, well, even if I don't necessarily know what's going on, if I had gone into this cold, oh, so she has an alliance now, as opposed to who is this person?
Yeah.
I don't know who this person is.
But then to be confused by it.
Evidently, they think, what's her name? Raquel
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is ready for prime time. That's interesting. I always like seeing new faces.
Totally.
Speaking of new faces, no Killer Cross or Scarlett Bordeaux to be found.
No.
No Timothy Thatcher
yes,
to be found.
No Timothy Thatcher.
So that was kind of interesting. Poppy was there.
Well,
she delivered a performance to kick off the show.
That was advertised. That wasn't the surprise.
Man, the costume of hers was a surprise.
That was something else.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was
looked
something
really
else.
great. It looked like something out of AAA.
Yeah.
AAA.
Yeah.
My match of the night, though, I'll be honest with you, just because it was just a straight up kick-ass wrestling match. It was Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and that actually opened up the show.
That it did.
And man, this was a blast.
It really was. It kicked things off with like a Leo Rush-esque like test of agility and speed, bouncing off the ropes, misdirection, laying down so the person had jump over him, leapfrogs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was prolonged. It went on for a while.
Eventually, they started going into sort of a giant, almost slow motion sequence.
Oh, it was totally like who's strongest.
Yeah.
It was a match of power.
And they were going like half speed to try to, I think, to try to amplify
the feats of strength, totally.
Yeah, exactly. And it was awesome. It was great.
It was good. So after the speed agility test, Dijak sends Lee out of the ring, goes for a corkscrew splash. Keith Lee catches him a powerbomb position, tries for apron powerbomb. Dijak gets out of that, and then eventually Dijak kind of like suplexes Keith Lee on the apron, just kind of chucks him on the apron.
Yeah, that sequence was a bit wonky. But again, it was just two big dudes slapping meat.
There's one prolonged sequence of two huge dudes slapping beef.
By the time we got mid-match, though, and everybody started like flipping out of each other's moves, it was absolutely insane.
Yeah, before we get there, though, let's talk. Keith Lee goes for a finish. Dijak escapes, hits a boot. Lee hits a forearm, I believe. And Dijak hits a cyclone kick. Sends Lee out of the ring, and then Dijak hits a corkscrew senton. Oh, no, that was in the ring, and then gets a 2 count. And then they start like just slapping beef with strikes, back and forth. Both end up on a knee, selling it. They finally get up. Dijak eventually drops Lee with a knee and a clothesline, and then he sets up Keith on the top, picks him up. Kind of strange to get him up, his legs shaking.
Yeah, that was good.
Hits a second rope Death Valley driver. That only gets him a 2 count. He has the advantage for a while till Lee pounces Dijak into the middle turnbuckle.
That looked really nasty.
That did.
So much of so many of these moves just look really nasty. I'm looking for the office chair bit.
That was
okay. So no, it was right after that.
Yeah.
So the middle turn, Dijak rolls outside. Lee follows, hits a big double chop against the barricade. Then Lee sits Dijak down in an office chair. Another double chop at the behest of the crowd.
Yeah, one more time,
which was great.
And then Dijak responds with a super kick. And he puts Lee in the chair. And he super kicks Lee into the chair, and then hits a springboard somersault senton out of the ring to ringside with Lee in the chair.
That was absolutely insane.
That was crazy.
It's honestly, you have to see it to really get it.
You really do.
It was crazy.
So they're back in the ring. Dijak goes for a choke slam. Lee reverses that, tries to go for his finish. No. Dijak fights out, hits a super kick, goes for a choke slam. Lee powers out, goes for a choke slam of his own, and as he's bringing his arm up, Dijak like flips out of it. Mm-hmm. Then he grabs Lee for a choke slam. Lee flips out of that choke slam.
That was great.
He hits power bomb. Dijak no-sells it.
Yeah, that was great. He basically hulks out.
Charges towards Lee. Lee hits another spirit bomb.
Yeah.
Only gets him a 2. So they're up on top. They're jockeying for position for a while. Dijakovic eventually hits a super Spanish fly that gets him a 2 count. He tries to get Lee up for Feast Your Eyes. Can't. Tries again. Can't. And Lee just like effortlessly picks up Dijak.
It's that jackhammer type thing.
Hits finish for the win.
What do they call it now?
Oh, I don't remember.
I forget.
It escapes me at this moment.
Yeah.
Afterwards, great show of sportsmanship for both. They embrace. They hug. Keith Lee goes, "Hey, get in the ropes, get in the turnbuckle,
and pose."
But pose. He's having a hard time doing it.
Yeah, he gets up there finally, and as he starts doing his feast your eyes, the camera just goes back down to Lee.
Well, no, Lee helps him up on the second rope. He picks him up.
No, I know he does.
Yeah.
But then Dijak starts to do the feast your eyes. The camera guy starts going back down to Lee.
Yeah.
I'm like, at least, Lee was the one who was trying to get him up there for some attention, for some
spotlight.
love.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I know.
It was terrific, though. That was such a terrific match.
And
I mentioned this during the stream. I still feel like they've merely scratched the surface with what these two guys
there was
can
no
do.
poison ranas off the second rope. There's none of that stuff.
I was happy about that, though. That last time they did, Dijak did a poison rana, or he got hit with one by Damian Priest. Last time, I want to see that, man.
Yeah.
I want to see that again. But yeah, no, I do feel like that's the case, though. I feel like there's a lot more that can be mined. Will we get more of it? Probably not. Dijak will probably move on, do some more stuff with Damian Priest, Killian Dane. Yeah, those guys.
The other really tall guy that's doing the house show circuit.
And you Taco Fall, Elihu del Fantasma. I don't know.
Whereas Keith Lee's going to move on to something else.
How about Cameron Grimes versus Dijak?
All right. Give me Keith Lee versus Angel Garza. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm pretty sure Angel Garza is going to go to Raw, though, man.
Could be. Next, street fight, Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai. If not for the kind of weird finish, this would have been my match of the night.
I agree. Me too.
Because they brought it.
They really did. And it was from the second. So Tegan Nox comes out, and like she barely even got like a pose going before Dakota Kai hit the breakout button and just annihilates her
on the stage. Yeah.
And like immediately they do like a spear through the barricade spot.
Yeah. So they're brawling through the crowd, and then Tegan sends Kai into one of the barricades in the crowd. And then Dakota Kai wanders over the barricade that separates ringside area from the crowd. Tegan spears her through that, and then she's setting for something else, and then Dakota Kai DDTs Tegan on the hunk of barricade that fell over.
Everything looks so stiff.
Everything looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
So later on, Kai pins Nox's leg in the ring steps and then produces a cricket bat from under the ring.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, man.
Not to be confused with the cricket paddle, which is just the wrong way of saying a cricket bat. We learned that during the stream.
I guess I'm not familiar with cricket.
I always thought it was called a paddle.
Me too. So she takes a swing at Tegan. Tegan ducks, and the bat breaks over the ring post. And then Tegan escapes. Gets her leg out of the ring steps, hits a cross body off the ring steps onto Kai. And then she puts so Dakota Kai is against the ring steps. Tegan puts a garbage can over, hits a cannonball that honestly looks like it hurt Tegan more than Dakota Kai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
So Nox goes and sets up a table ringside, tries to suplex Kai out of the ring through the table. Dakota fights out of that, and then they eventually make the way over to like 9 degrees over from that particular corner, and then Dakota Kai grabs a lid to a garbage can, completely destroys it on Tegan Nox's face.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was great. There were at least 2 bits here.
There's that one shot where
the chair to the face,
where Dakota Kai throws a chair at Tegan. She catches it, and then Dakota Kai kicks her, and Tegan leaned into it.
Yeah,
she leaned into it head first.
Her head got that chair big time.
Yeah. So Dakota Kai tries to kick Nox off the apron through the table. Nox avoids that, hits a bunch of super kicks, so she's on the apron. Kai's in the ring. Hits Kai with garbage can, and then suplexes her pretty much head first onto the garbage can.
Yeah, that was right.
That was great. She goes for a shiniest wizard, misses. Dakota Kai hit her old finish, not the new one, but the old one. What was that?
It was a deep ass burp.
Wow,
Sorry.
That earns her a 2 count. They're up jockeying on the top rope. Nox hits a choke slam. off there, follows with like this crazy 450 seated senton thing.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was rad.
Only gets her 2.
Again, man, that looked like you got 2 knees that have gone like through extensive surgery. I don't know. That's a move you should be doing, man.
But it's damn impressive.
It's really impressive.
It's damn impressive, man. So Tegan Nox produces a chair and then puts it around Dakota Kai's head. So the chair is like sitting upright. And she sticks Dakota Kai's head into it, bounces off the rope, goes for a kick. Dakota Kai pulls her head out, picks up the chair, tosses it to Tegan Nox, kicks the chair, and Tegan leaned into it.
Yeah.
And then rams Nox into the ring post next, gets some tape from under the ring, wraps Tegan wrist around the ring post, hits a couple of kicks. The last kick kicks the tape off. And then she goes and grabs a laptop, it looked like, for the timekeeper area.
Yeah, that's
swings,
what it was, yeah.
misses. Nox picks it up, hits Dakota Kai in the knee with it. And then Tegan gets some change from under the ring, hits Dakota Kai in the knee with that.
She's just wailing away at the knee.
Yeah,
here,
punching
yeah.
it. Wraps a chair around the knee, stomps on it, hits the shiniest wizard, and it's like, I'm not done with you.
Oh, bad move.
Should have went for the
Bad
cover there.
move.
That would have
Bad
done it.
move.
Would have won right there.
She wants to prove a point.
Yep. So she gets the table that she produced and set up ringside. She brings that in the ring, sets it up towards the corner, puts Dakota Kai on it, then wraps a chair around her head,
Yeah.
goes up to the second rope, and that's when Raquel Gonzalez comes out. Dakota Kai rolls off the table, and then Raquel Gonzalez tosses her off the second rope.
Yeah.
But the table doesn't break.
The table did one of those like slips out of the way.
Yeah, so she kind of
things.
slides down off.
It looked bad.
It looked like it hurt.
But the ref went down there real quick, checked on her, and then
Yeah.
backed up, so she was fine.
Dakota Kai covers her for the win. Raquel goes down, helps up Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai's like, what?
Yeah, why'd you do that?
And then helps her get out of the ringside area. Spectacular match.
Oh, it was just,
They
it was absolutely
brought
terrific.
it.
I totally agree, though. It probably would have been match of the night if it wasn't for the weird finish.
If they had done the finish like we thought, like Dakota Kai had been so wrapped up in the emotion of getting revenge rather than getting the win
Yeah.
and lost,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, match of the night.
Yeah,
Because everything felt like it hurt.
I'm with you on that one. I was just seeing if there was any info on Tegan Nox. I mean, I'm sure that she's fine because otherwise it would have been a much bigger deal.
I guess the worry with that one is that she kind of landed on the table on her upper back.
Yeah.
And you worry that if her head had snapped back and hit the table, that might have rung her bell somewhat because it didn't break.
But boy, that match was so good.
It was hard hitting. It was physical.
And it was like just from the start, and they didn't let up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was like they were doing stuff that I just like all the shots to the. I mean, usually I'm not a fan of like unprotected shots to the head, but like when done properly and in just the right doses, like I'm totally fine with it. And it was so shocking just to see like
Well, it also wasn't just the moves or the impact or the selling. It was the story beats they were hitting too.
Yeah.
Like you felt the intensity, especially on Tegan Nox's part. Mm-hmm. Like it's one thing, sure, you beat her in a standard match, but she wanted, it's one thing to get a victory, it's another thing to get revenge, and she really wanted revenge. And that was like a couple times before she did something, she hesitated a bit, and was like, should I go this far? Yeah, I feel like I need to go this far. Yeah, and it just felt like the logical story beat to conclude the match is that she takes that too far, and it just didn't pan out that way. Yeah, so. I guess it kind of did, but then they brought the heater in, which is just kind of confusing. Anyway, still a really good match. Next, for the title, I guess, of Mr. NXT, Johnny Gargano. Taking on Prince Balor. He was announced as Prince Balor, not Finn Balor.
I guess that's just how he's going to be now. He's going to be Prince
Balor.
Do we get any royalties for that? Because
How many times have we been, out in front of this? Prescient. Countless times. Next, they're going to debut Rawgate Mutant. Where's our royalties for that?
At that point, we're probably going to have to lawyer up. Yeah. If they Rawgate Mutant, we're going to have to lawyer up.
If they debut Killer Cross as Rawgate Mutant, we're going to have to lawyer up.
Exactly. NXT Gate Mutant. Well, that's close enough. Yeah, that's damn close enough.
Yeah, I think it'd be within our rights to seek some money out of that.
Compensation for sure.
Totally.
Our ideas are worth money, man.
Yes, we demand recompense.
So this is probably the best Finn Balor match I've seen in WWE anyways.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
That Elite match is really good. But yeah, this was really good. The first half of it, there was a lot of They do headlocks really good. They do like rest holds really, really good. So they don't really come off as rest holds.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of mat wrestling sort of to begin.
Yeah, but that's typically how Gargano starts most of his matches.
He's Johnny Wrestling.
Yeah,
that's
he
sort
starts
of what he does.
his matches out with wrestling stuff. And there was this great spot early on where they're kind of trading technical moves and head scissors, and Finn has Gargano in some head scissors, and just starts doing push-ups.
Yeah, man. It's never the wrong time to do push-ups.
Yep, you got to keep those pectoral muscles in good shape, as well as the triceps.
Battle the abs, man. These dudes.
Based on aesthetics as well as the outcome of this match, Finn wins.
I'm going to disagree, man. I think Gargano,
I feel like there's at least a half-inch like cleft from peak of ab down to the indent.
See, I look at
Finn.
I look at sharpness. You can like cut stuff off of Johnny's ab cuts. I'm telling you, it's like razor sharp.
No, I'm telling you, like Finn's clefts are way deeper between his abs. Way deeper.
I don't know, man. Gargano's
way more
abs are
pronounced.
something else.
No, man, Finn wins.
I think
Finn's
Gargano
always the
wins,
goal.
actually.
Finn's always the goal in terms of abs.
Right,
So, anyways,
well,
Gargano
biased.
escapes that head scissors, hits a drop kick, headlock of his own, and after that, kind of bit of feeling out process with some headlocks and head scissors. Things picked up. Gargano goes for a spear on the apron, or does actually hit it. My apologies. Starts tossing Finn around ringside, toss him in the ring. Finn rolls out. Gargano sprints towards him. He wants to hit one of those shotgun drop kicks or John Woo drop kicks like Finn did to him.
Yeah.
Instead, he eats a sling blade. Finn has the advantage for a good stretch till Johnny powers out of a chin lock, drops Finn with a flatliner, starts working over Finn's arm. Later on, Finn starts working over Johnny's leg.
I really appreciated that all the sling blades we saw in this match really felt like they meant something. It was either a counter, or usually they were just counters to everything. Mm-hmm. And like Gargano sold them really well, and Balor, man, a motivated Balor here in NXT is something else. It really is.
Well, I kind of feel like too, he's not like face Finn can't do some of the stuff that heel Finn can do.
Sure, yeah.
Not just in terms of the character work or storytelling, but I feel like with the intensity at which he wrestles. I mean, I feel like he probably could if they had a different character for him other than smiling Finn, you know?
Like I think his best matches when he was in NXT the first time around were probably against Samoa Joe. They were like the most physical ones.
Yeah.
And even then, like I didn't see nearly this intensity. I think you're right. I mean, it's just a difference in character.
I think so. I think that goes a long way. So before Finn starts working the leg, Johnny goes for a suicide dive. Finn catches him, tries for 1916 ringside. Johnny pushes Finn into the ring steps, follows the cannonball off the apron. A lot more back and forth. Johnny going for his typical moves. Finn countering, going for his typical moves. Johnny countering. Eventually, we get a hockey fight in the apron. They both hit enziguris. Johnny goes for a slingshot spear. Finn catches him, goes up for a coup de grace. Johnny moves, hits a slingshot DDT, gets two. Johnny drops Finn with a clothesline, goes for the meet in the middle kick. Finn responds with this is a really good sequence. Responds with a sling blade, goes for a shotgun drop kick. Gargano hits him with a super kick. Charges towards Finn after that. Finn hits another sling blade, then hits a shotgun drop kick. Goes up top for the coup de grace. Misses. Johnny locks in Gargano escape. Finn escapes that. Hits a double stomp. Goes for this is all like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Goes for a 1916. Can't hit it. Another Gargano escape. Finn kind of effortlessly gets to the ropes. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm not going to sell your finish.
Yeah.
Finn rolls outside. Johnny meets him out there. Finally hits that shotgun drop kick into the barricade. Tries for his own 1916. And, what's to my right here? It's the announce table.
Yeah.
So he lets go of Finn. Takes the hood off. This allows Finn to get up. He drops Johnny onto the table and then gets on the other announce table, runs, shotgun drop kicks him off the table into the barricade.
Yeah.
Puts him back in the ring. Coup de grace. 1916 to get the win.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, I don't know. I guess they could still go this route. But Gargano at the end going after Ciampa with the title seemingly precludes him and Finn doing more stuff.
Unless Finn's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, I mean, they could circle back around. I mean, again, they get the benefit of the doubt, and you got seemingly like, you got Ciampa and the Undisputed Era, they're going to be done for now.
Yeah.
So you going back around to Ciampa and Gargano. I mean, is Finn going to move up to Adam Cole again?
I'll
you still have the Velveteen Dream.
I'll toss this out there. I I wouldn't be surprised if the main event for TakeOver Tampa is Fatal 4-Way.
Dream Gargano.
No. Cole, Finn, Gargano, Ciampa.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
That could be.
Wouldn't be
Wonder if Velveteen Dream would go back after Keith Lee. That could be an interesting.
Could be.
That could be an
but
interesting
like
matchup.
when Finn pinned Gargano, he basically had his front area in Gargano's face.
It was very definitive. There was no like shenanigans.
No, and then afterwards he gets the gun fingers out and points it in Gargano's face, and Gargano tries to push it off, and Finn's like grabbing him by the face and pushing his hand back.
Yeah,
it was very, very violent.
Yeah,
well, it was, not quite New Japan Prince Devitt.
Oh man, I don't know. It was up there. It was. I mean, his freaking thigh vein was like throbbing against Gargano's
Well, like after
head.
the pinfalls count, he like starts brushing Johnny's sweat off his thigh.
Yeah,
it's very dismissive.
Yeah, and they did a great visual too with him going up to the top and like the crowd behind him. And to me, it was just I was like, man, I really want them to start taking the weekly shows on the road at least for a little bit because there's something different about it. And granted, I know like takeover crowds are special, but like at least for the first batch of TV tapings. If they go on the road like that, people are going to be into it. And you get a bigger sense of scale. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a main roster show. Like the crowd is just, they're there for NXT and they know how special NXT is.
Maybe once a month. Like once a month they took it on the road. That'd be cool.
Well, if they did it in chunks of like, hey, let's go on the road for a month or for 6 weeks. And then we'll be back at Full Sail for 6 weeks. And then we'll have a takeover or whatever. I mean, there's any number of ways they can do it to make the road experience, if they're going to do that, more special. As opposed to just week after week after week after week, where the crowd sort of, the attendance starts to fall off a little bit. It's not as special.
Anyways, next for the NXT Women's title, Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair, man, that gear. Oh my god.
The entrance gear and then just like her straight up gear. It was
amazing.
Terrific.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get the feeling that like Bianca Belair, I sort of mentioned this a little bit. I'm like, I wonder if she's peaking at like kind of the wrong time. This is what I'm hoping is going to happen. So obviously Rhea Ripley ended up winning this match. We'll go through the match in a second. Charlotte attacks Rhea Ripley, but then before Charlotte just leaves, she attacks Bianca Belair.
Tossing the ring steps.
She had said she had agreed to the match with Rhea Ripley
at Mania. Yeah,
at Mania. Bianca Belair has since her last I don't know if her Sam Roberts made a point of saying that 13 months ago was when he said she's not ready for TakeOver.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that match with Shayna?
Must have been.
Was that 13 months ago?
I feel like it was a year ago.
Over even the past 3 to 4 months, especially since the Rumble. And I guess Survivor Series a bit. And there's the War Games there. Bianca Belair has really just turned that corner into something so special that people have really latched onto. I don't think 13 months ago would have worked. I think at this point, because they've kept her so strong along the way, and she's just built and built and built and built onto that resume, she's peaking right now at this time when they are all in on Rhea Ripley. And I just want Bianca to get that recognition. What I'm hoping that happens is at WrestleMania, it's not going to be a takeover level match. You can't expect that. They never do that at WrestleMania. So you have Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. You want to keep both people looking strong. I know a big win for Rhea Ripley obviously would be over Charlotte. It's so difficult for me to believe that they would actually have Charlotte lose at WrestleMania to an NXT person. I just really, it probably might happen. You want to keep both people looking strong. That's where Bianca Belair strikes back at Charlotte. And then you get sort of a wonky win for Rhea Ripley. Nobody really looks bad.
It's the We Are NXT thing. It's
exactly
when it all comes down to it.
Monday after Raw, Bianca gets her call up, if you want to call it that these days. Or they do a trade. And then she gets into a feud with Charlotte, and it's main roster, so I don't know who knows. They'll probably not do it great, but maybe you launch her into stardom that way, off of a feud with Charlotte. I don't know, but I just feel like I wasn't disappointed with this match. I thought that this match was actually really, really good, and even the finish which saw Bianca's head sort of get rammed into the top turnbuckle, and then Rhea does like a second rope riptide, was a really strong way for Bianca to go down.
Finish.
I do think that maybe there should have been like a couple more false finishes to keep Bianca a bit stronger. But man, she is something special.
She is, and she's been something special. I think. I mean, I might not be it might not be the popular opinion, but I thought a year ago if she had beat Shayna, it would have made a ton of sense because that's when she was at the peak of the undefeated thing.
I think it would have been too soon.
It might have been too soon, but if she's peaking now, the path to the crest of that peak began a year ago. And
Yeah.
Because I think a year ago she was doing phenomenal work.
A year ago when she was doing the undefeated stuff, that was a great like anchor for her. And then when she did get defeated, she had a great little turn, and she didn't keep doing the undefeated thing. Mm-mm. She kept up doing the EST thing, but she kept on also evolving, and people really started cluing into her. So like the whole crowd, and on top of that, they stopped with the sort of like, is she a bad guy? Is she a good guy? She was sort of fluid a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it's like now it's like, man, no, that crowd is firmly behind her. They see everything she can do and how mind-bogglingly quickly she has like turned it up to another level. Like she's only been doing this for like what, a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. That's crazy. So I don't know, man. There's not enough titles to go around. They need a mid-card title so she could be the first mid-card title holder, or just go to Raw. I mean, it's going to be impossible to get a title from anybody unless she goes to like SmackDown.
Well, I mean, let's imagine, if you will, that Shayna beats Becky at Mania. I know they don't reference NXT feuds very often on main roster, but if you want to, in, I don't know, SummerSlam maybe, circle back around to Bianca versus Shayna.
I mean,
reference their NXT storyline. That's entirely possible.
Somebody high up seems to like her because she had a killer showing during the Rumble.
Dominant performance at the Rumble.
Yeah.
The two most dominant performers at the Rumble were Bianca and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right there is probably the future of the Raw Women's division.
I hope so. I really do.
Me too, because they're both great. Anyways, about halfway through the match, things really picked up. Bianca hits a jackhammer, follows essentially with Shankly Gates. She put Rhea essentially in Shankly Gate. Rhea powers out of that, hits a backdrop on Belair. Electric chair facebuster gets her 2, follows with her reverse cloverleaf. Bianca escapes that, kicks Rhea into the ring post, rolls her up, gets 2, follows with a huge spine buster.
I love a good spine buster.
Man, good spine buster's tough to beat. So they're in the corner trading chops until Bianca gut punches her. So Rhea's like sitting on the top rope. Bianca picks her up to military press, slams her, goes for a moonsault. Rhea gets her knees up, goes for Riptide. Bianca escapes. She goes for a KOD. Rhea escapes that, hits a boot. Bianca responds with a spear. It's a really great sequence.
Yeah, it was a nice sequence.
Bianca picks her up for the chicken wing face buster. Rhea escapes that. Bianca tries to hit her with the braid. Rhea evades, hits a boot, and then Bianca drops Rhea out of the ring, and Rhea like landed on her feet but fell over.
It was one of those like full rotations.
Yeah, that could have been rough.
And it's like, if it was anybody else, like their knees just simply would have exploded.
Probably.
Because, man.
And then Bianca follows with a somersault senton over the top rope. That was awesome. Tries to put her back in the ring. Rhea gets her leg up to block, and then dumps Bianca onto the ring steps. They're back in the ring. Rhea's up top, looking to superplex Bianca out of the ring to the floor. Bianca blocks that. She tries for a superplex of her own. Rhea blocks that, tries for a sunset flip powerbomb. Bianca blocks that. In the process of all that, Rhea kind of grabs Bianca's arm through her leg, and that's when she pulls the arm, sending Bianca headfirst into the top turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Right into Riptide to get the win.
Yeah, and like you said, it was a creative finish.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's, it wasn't just a standard Riptide.
No. Anyways, as soon as the bell rings, Charlotte's in, lays out Rhea, asks for the mic. She gets it, says, "I'll see you at WrestleMania." Hits her with natural selection. She's leaving the ring, and then just tosses Bianca into the ring steps.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's a purpose behind
I'd like
that,
to think so.
other than just generally disrespecting NXT.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. And I mean, you can take this glass half full or half empty. It's possible that between now and then we might get on NXT TV or on Raw a Bianca Charlotte, like
Entirely
that'll be
possible.
a detour for this feud.
Yeah.
It'll go through Bianca.
Entirely possible.
In which case, I'm sure Bianca will be made to look like $1 million. But you want that momentum to continue.
Yes. You don't want to stall out.
Yeah, I mean NXT typically you see lengthy title runs, but I don't know. I mean sometimes it's not. Look, man, if you want to, sometimes it might be smart to roll with the hot hand and reward good work. And if you have Bianca overcome these odds, get that title somehow, some way. I don't know. I mean, that's a huge moment in the middle of that ring.
Oh, it totally is.
After all this time.
Totally is.
And I sort of draw a little bit of a parallel with like a guy like Matt Riddle, who also we all see is that dude is going to be NXT champion one day. Totally, 100%. They kept him strong. They have him on detours.
Yeah.
And so when he does get the title, it's going to be even bigger.
Yeah. I kind of feel like with Bianca though, it's she's going to go to main roster before she gets that NXT title.
I get the feeling too. I get the feeling it's probably going to have to after Mania.
Yeah, definitely.
I get that feeling.
Yeah, totally. I think that's probably the primary reason she had such a strong showing in the Rumble.
I think so.
It's like, here, get ready for Bianca Belair on Raw because she's coming soon.
I think so. Or, I mean, man, I think that she could have an easier path to a title on SmackDown. And I know they keep married couples together. Take the Street Profits, but you imagine Street Profits versus the Usos, Miz and Morrison, the New Day. I mean, get them wrestling over
In
there.
theory, the revival.
Yeah.
Until they leave to
Right?
AEW.
Yeah.
Next, speaking of tag teams, Undisputed Era versus the Broserweights for the NXT tag team titles. Undisputed Era, they just come out and do the usual entrance. Broserweights roll out in their golf cart
Yeah.
with the Dusty Classic trophy in tow. They have a promo. They're really pushing the Bobby Fish, Frying Fish thing. They get the crowd into it. They got the lyrics on the screen with the bouncing fish from word to word.
Yeah. Kind of hope they're done with it.
Yeah, I kind of hope they're done with it too. Honestly, I didn't think it was that funny the first time.
Yeah, me neither. I hate being a bummer, though. I mean, I thought it was cute that Matt Riddle could, like, say that as quickly as he could. But
It was a one-time deal. You didn't need to make shirts out of that.
it's really not that funny. Yeah. All right. Anyways.
No. Although they had Bobby Fish, so on the two Sidetrons,
Yeah.
like those dancing fish plaque things they have.
Yeah, those are...
They had one of those, but it was 90 degrees, so it's vertical, and they had Bobby Fish's head on it.
They were funny, but they're also really messed up.
It was kind of weird.
It was creepy.
What was that? Seaman? That video game where there was a fish with a human head on it? I believe it's called Seaman.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Really? Here,
That's great.
start going through this match. I'll confirm that was the title of the game.
Fine. First up, we had a Broserweights promo.
Oh, yeah,
we already mentioned that. So we kicked things off
Yeah,
with...
Seaman on the Dreamcast. See, look.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. That's messed up.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Fishman.
We got an X-Plex on the apron.
Yeah.
And then another X-Plex onto Fish, who was already on the apron.
Yeah, that was rough. And then Dunn's in control for a while until Kyle O'Reilly gets tagged. He gets a bunch of strikes. That allows Undisputed Era to get what?
The upper hand.
Correct.
Not the lower hand.
Correct. And that's until Peter Dune avoids a boot from Kyle O'Reilly, who knocks Fish off the apron. Dunn eventually gets tagged to Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle's in. He clears out. Broserweight's in control for a good stretch. And then we have Dunn hitting Bobby Fish with a moonsault from the top to ringside. Riddle goes for the flying bro. O'Reilly gets knees up, however. And then ringside still, Dunn is looking to kick Bob Fish. Bob Fish ducks, so Dunn kicks the ring post instead.
Dong. Nigel also kept on referring to Pete Dunne.
Peter Dune.
As Peter Dune. Peter Dune.
Peter Dune.
That's pretty funny.
So we're in the ring. Riddle and O'Reilly are trading strikes. They both collapse after a knee. This is a really good match, by the way. I'm just reading some news here, but it was really good.
No, it was terrific. It was terrific.
Now, like a lot of sequences were way too fast and intricate for me to ever accurately or any real descriptive manner note what happened.
I'm really glad they put together Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. Like, you got the Undisputed. Like, NXT, they don't have a lot of, like, okay, what tag teams do they actually have?
Forgotten Sons,
You always name them first.
Birch and Oni.
Are they even there anymore? They're on
they
205 also.
They didn't break up, as far as I know.
Yeah, the Undisputed Era. Who was in the damn Classic? That UK has a lot of tag teams.
Yeah, that's probably why they had to have.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Because there's not enough
Because
tag
and
teams.
then one of the NXT one was thrown together. It was Kushida and Alex Shelley.
Well, they're not thrown together. They were a tag team for years.
For NXT, they're thrown together. because they're not doing anything now. It was a one-time affair.
Yeah, Alex Shelley is a physical therapist.
Well, there you go then. Yeah, they just like there's no tag teams there. But whenever they like over in UK, those tag team matches are amazing.
Yeah.
And then you got these guys going at it.
Yeah.
They put together great tag team matches.
Well, and also too, I mean, like what's Peter, if Peter Dune has a deficiency, which I don't really think he does, is in terms of his ability to project his personality.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, he has the scowl and he has the shrug, and it's good. And he's not a terrible promo, but like Matt Riddle's like next level charismatic guy.
Sure, yeah.
You pair them together for
great
comedy
pair.
bits, and it benefits both of them.
Yeah, for sure.
So far, save for the Bobby Fish Frank Fish thing, it hasn't been too over the top.
And that's just you and I. Other people love that.
Yeah, I mean, they loved it enough they made a shirt out of it. So, so it benefits Pete Dunne, and it gives him a platform to show off more of his personality rather than.
Yeah, and he's not just stuck in that North American title scene with 8 other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gives Matt Riddle something to do that's outside of the main title picture.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Riddle spears Fish ringside, hits a spear on O'Reilly in the ring. He tries to jackhammer O'Reilly, yet Fish is the legal man, so he runs in. He chop blocks Riddle, and then Undisputed Era hit like a double team wheelbarrow German suplex. It looks like it really hurt. They get a 2 count. Fish hits the super exploder on Riddle. O'Reilly follows the top rope knee drop, locks in a knee bar. Dunne's in. He breaks up by jumping off the second rope and stomping on O'Reilly's hand. There was I didn't note here the great bit where there was like all sorts of submission moves that were broken up and stuff.
Yeah.
Where they were, both teams had them in submission moves. It was good. Anyways, we had some, as Morrow would say, malfunction at the junction moments here. So O'Reilly pushes Peter Dune into Matt Rydell, knocking him off the apron. O'Reilly tries to go for the hot tag. Peter Dune holds onto his hand, bites his hand, and then snaps his fingers. Eventually, I think he doesn't get the tag in. So O'Reilly avoids a spear from Riddle, so he spears Peter Dune instead.
Yeah.
Undisputed Era follows chasing the Dragon. Peter Dune kicks out. So Undisputed Era goes for total elimination. Dunne escapes that, allows Riddle to tag himself in. A bunch of moves happen. Broserweights hit their finish. They win. They're new tag champions.
Yeah.
The finish was like really bang, 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 bang,
It
bang,
was,
back and
and
forth.
it was so good. They're all so like, man, it's just really good stuff.
It was good stuff. So congratulations, Broserweight's new tag team champions. That finally brings us to our main event.
Okay, well, hold on a second, though.
What?
You did go to the bathroom at one point, and earlier on, prior to the Undisputed Era match, anyways, I think it was prior to the Women's Championship match, there was an Undisputed Era interview. Roddy did most of the talking. He was calling out Velveteen Dream. He's mad.
They have a match on Wednesday.
They have a match on Wednesday. Velveteen Dream is following one person on Twitter, and it's Marina Shafir.
Gosh.
He has like 160,000 followers or something. He's following one person, Marina
So
Shafir,
good.
which is genius. And he said, these guys, this tag team, they're going to show why they're the best, and the loser weights aren't going to do nothing. And then Adam Cole's going to retain his title against Ciampa.
He's half right.
And he's great. And then Adam Cole, he gave a little promo interview thing, and then he said, "Okay, Kathy, now you can leave."
Of course, Kathy Kelly's last day.
Yeah, I
on the
wonder,
job.
are
She
they
had
already-
a Facebook Live thing with Triple H.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, they said that during the show. That was, they also announced during the show there's going to be another NXT UK takeover end of April. I believe April 26th.
In Dublin.
In Dublin.
Dublin.
So a prominent role, hopefully, for one Jordan Devlin.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's see if there's a Facebook Live thing happening now.
Currently.
Triple H reacts to NXT Takeover Portland. This looks like they might have given her a gift of some sort. I wonder what this is here. I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, it's over.
It's over. It says, "Thank you for watching."
Missed it.
Can you please rewind?
Doesn't look like it.
Well, I'm gonna see
That's
if
the pits for you.
maybe Ryan Satin has info.
I'm sure they'll have the rundown of it. Main event, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Bebe for NXT title. Early on, Tommaso Ciampa did his advanced scouting. He watched a lot of Adam Cole tape because he seemingly knew everything that he was going to do and avoided it, and capitalized on the fact that Adam Cole apparently goes to the well to the same stuff very often.
But then the tide of the match
It
turned.
always does, because he there's like all sorts of stuff going on near the announce table. Ciampa tries to powerbomb Adam Cole through it. Cole escapes. Hits the wheelbarrow suplex on the corner of the table. So Ciampa's upper back, and they said, "Oh, whiplash."
Yeah.
And Adam Cole started working his surgically repaired neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was your story.
Yeah.
was Adam Cole going back to the neck. Although towards the end, it just became an overbooked mess where the neck really wasn't involved a whole lot.
Yeah. I guess we shouldn't be too surprised, given how overbooked the Gargano stuff was. Him and Ciampa, they're all related and stuff. So I don't know. I was a little surprised at how overbooked it was in the end. I really was.
I mean, they set up your expectations that in the past, especially in NXT title matches, when Undisputed Era gets involved on Adam Cole's behalf, he loses.
Yeah.
And that was seemingly going to be the case until John Gargano showed up. And so at one point, I believe it's Kyle O'Reilly brings the NXT title. Let's just fast forward to the end. It was a good match. It was really physical. It hurt to watch. But I don't know if it ever really transcended past good physical hurt to watch match.
So towards the end, they were doing really, really physical stuff. I kind of agree with that. I kind of I'm over. I love just like straight up clean finishes. Like I love NXT. I do. I love it so much. But when you send in the troops and it's clown show, I'm
which is what it always is. Undisputed Era when they're all out there.
It's always
come off as a bunch of bumbling fools.
This is all Ryan Satin has really. That may have been the best takeover in a long time. Absolute banger of a show from top to bottom. I don't quite agree with that. I think the last takeover was probably better. What was the last takeover?
It
Cole versus what was the name of
the Survivor Series one.
Oh, War Games.
War Games.
Oh, wow.
War Games was good. The one before that was good.
War Games.
It's like New Orleans was really good.
Yeah.
Mania weekend.
I feel like this is actually one of the more weak ones.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like all the matches were good. I'm not gonna talk trash about any of the matches because the match quality was still really good across the board. It just didn't feel as satisfying as most takeovers do.
Yeah, no, I agree. Here we go. See, thank you, Sean Ross Sapp, for having a breakdown here.
He's the best.
Go subscribe to Fightful Select.
Yes, do that. Sean
Look at
Ross
this.
Sapp
He's got
is
like
the actual
freaking
best.
screenshots and shit.
Sean Ross Sapp is the actual
Look at that.
best.
He literally has a thread for
and a
Triple H's QA with Kathy Kelly.
And a super nice guy.
Triple H said there were smoke issues on his plane for some reason. He's keeping it kayfabe, man.
That's pretty funny.
Let's see here. And then it's Undisputed Era and Triple H bring Kathy Kelly gifts. Undisputed Era thank her for helping them. Kathy Kelly gets emotional as Triple H bids her farewell on her last night. Oh,
that's so cool.
That's so sweet. Oh, man. Oh, look. They all look so nice. They all have their nice faces on.
Aw. She's really good. I'm going to miss her from NXT.
Oh, she's terrific. She's absolutely terrific. Some flowers, something from Voodoo, something or other. I don't know what that is. Anyways.
Is it Voodoo Donuts?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's in Portland. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It is.
Yeah,
Voodoo
yeah.
Donuts.
Are those like super good donuts or what?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, let's skip ahead to the finish of this. So Undisputed Era come out. Let me get to that. Okay, so Undisputed Era come out. Roddy's out there first. He's up on the apron distracting the ref. O'Reilly and Fish pull Ciampa out of the ring, hit total elimination on him, throw him back in. Cole covers. Of course, Ciampa kicks out. Cole goes for a last shot. Ciampa avoids it, tosses him out of the ring, backdrops essentially onto Undisputed Era. Strong tries to get in. He eats a draping DDT. And then he takes out Undisputed Era with a corkscrew plancha. I don't believe we've seen him do that in NXT for a while at least. So Ciampa's back in. Cole then hits 3 super kicks, a last shot, Ciampa kicks out.
Yeah.
So O'Reilly puts the title in the ring, then runs around, gets on the apron, distracts the ref. Cole grabs the belt, swings, misses, and then he pushes Ciampa in the ref. We have a ref bump.
Yeah.
Cole hits a low blow, goes for Panama Sunrise. Instead, he hits a jumping knee from Ciampa, who falls with fairy tale ending, goes for the pin. Of course, there's no ref to be found.
The ref is bumped.
So you have the belt inside the ring, but near the ropes. Gargano teleports ringside
with the DIY shirt on.
With the DIY shirt on, yeah. And so Ciampa's about to grab for the belt, I guess to use as a weapon.
Yeah.
So Johnny grabs it from him and looks at the belt and looks at him.
Ciampa's like, "Why are you doing?
Why are you doing this?"
Right now?
And then Gargano hits Ciampa with the belt.
Dong.
Ciampa falls. Cole pins. He wins. So I'm expecting Gargano to da-da-da-da-da-da. It doesn't happen though.
Yeah.
Like take off DIY shirt, Undisputed Era underneath.
Boy, that'd be so
for
weird.
life.
That'd be so weird.
I know.
Be like Kane and DX.
I know. And so Ciampa does. Gargano just leaves. I don't think we see him much after that. He walks up the ramp.
He walks up the ramp and looks back.
Yeah. And Ciampa kind of gives him a glance while he's still selling shot to the head.
Yeah.
You got all Undisputed Era sitting on the apron, kind of Ciampa style. They're not doing the wave and the pat on the back, but they're all sitting there posing and stuff.
Cole's trying his best to his busted ass.
Oh, before that, yeah, he's leaning against the ropes, trying to throw up the Undisputed Era sign. And the only thing I think of is that Gargano's like, well, if I want to be Mr. NXT, I got to have that. And I know if I try to go through Ciampa to get that, it's going to be a war. I've already beat Adam Cole to win the title. I'll just do that again.
Maybe that could be. Yeah.
Whereas Finn be like, hold on, Johnny Wrestling. I beat you. I should get that.
Yeah.
And Ciampa will be like, hold on, Johnny Wrestling. You cost me that, so I deserve another shot at that. Mm-hmm. And Adam Cole's probably like, I want to wrestle you all. And he goes like, you have to. And he's like,
At NXT Tampa Takeover,
NXT Ciampa.
it will be Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, John Gargano,
And Prince
Balor. Yeah.
And that way Ciampa can like pin Gargano to win the belt.
That'd be a killer match.
I know.
Who would pin who? What now?
Ciampa could pin Gargano to win the belt.
Okay, yeah.
And then so Adam Cole doesn't need a pin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. And they could do other stuff after that. I don't know.
They could do others. All right, it's booked. We did it. Congratulations.
And then I guess they end up circling back to more Gargano Ciampa for the title.
We just booked it.
And then I don't know. Finn shows up on SmackDown after Mania.
Smiling.
Undisputed Era go to
Phoning
Raw.
in matches.
I know.
Finning in matches. No, I'm a prince now. He's like a prince, but they like Pritchard takes his prince gimmick literally.
I know.
So he's got like a crown.
So now he's like
he's with Baron.
Baron's henchman. Well, he's just a prince. Baron's king.
Yeah, yeah. Why'd you do that?
Now chat me up here, Bruce.
Chat me up here, Bruce. You got one of the hottest things in NXT with Prince Balor.
He's roll tiding down NXT.
Then you send him over to SmackDown. You get your hands on him and
You make him Baron Corbin's henchman. Now, why the fuck would you do that?
Well, he had heat. What?
That doesn't make any fucking sense, Bruce.
Makes sense, Bruce.
God, I still love when he tries to get the explanation
Oh,
why
I know.
Hogan wins the title at WrestleMania 9. It doesn't make a lick of sense. Other than Vince wanted to say thank you, essentially.
He ain't on the card, Bruce.
He wasn't on the goddamn
He wasn't
card,
on
Bruce.
the goddamn card, Bruce.
Well, it's increased ticket sales. The tickets are already sold. God, that's so good.
Yeah, that was
so
really good.
Still my favorite episode of that show.
That was really good. All right, anyways. That's it for the show.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow,
Live for
Monday.
patrons.
Live for patrons. We'll do our news brief and our mailbag.
Oh, also, we'll have our SmackDown review. Final will be up first thing tomorrow morning, Monday morning.
Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be notifications for it because we're burning through them a bunch. I know we said if you click on notifications all, theoretically you should get all
it doesn't happen
notifications.
that way on YouTube, though.
So, keep an eye out for it. We'll follow us on the Twitter at Real Going in Raw.
Yeah.
Instagram. We'll let you guys know
Or just
all
check
that
it
stuff.
out, or just check the channel first thing in the morning. It'll be
Just
there.
check the channel, exactly. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.